Pooran Desai, your title is Sustainability Director. What does that mean exactly? What do you do?
Well, I'm co-founder of a real estate company called BioRegional Quintain, and as co-founder I help set the environmental performance targets for the company. So we look at incorporating sustainability right into the heart of the company. So our company aims are based on sustainability criteria.
Do you find resistance on the part of the clients, the developers, for this kind of thing?
Well, we are a development company, so we set the specifications for our developments. And we really recognise we were established 5 years ago, and we really started to see, as well as having personal commitment to looking at issues like climate change, we also recognise that there's going to be a growing market for not just green buildings, but places where people can lead a whole sustainable lifestyle. So in our projects in the UK, we have about 1,000 homes in the pipeline. So we're still a relatively small company, but we have about 1,000 homes in the pipeline. And in those, we not just look at making sure the buildings are energy efficient, that they're water efficient, that they're run on renewable energy, but we also look at reducing car dependence. We have car clubs, we make cycling easy. We also organise local food deliveries to have sustainable, high quality, healthy food. And then also look at recycling to make sure that we are ultimately achieving no more than 2% of waste to landfill.
Sounds fantastic. Have you had success with this concept and with executing this concept in other parts of the world?
Well, in the UK, we have finished our first development and our residents moved in 2 weeks ago, so we're very pleased about that. I mean, that builds on about 10 years of work by an organisation called BioRegional, which is an NGO on eco-communities like the BedZ or Beddington Zero Fossil Energy Development in South London, which has become quite well known. And in fact, the NGO has developed a concept called One Planet Living, where we have 10 principles of sustainability, which is being applied internationally. So it's being applied in the US on a large development in California, in South Africa. We've been working with a developer, China Merchant Property Developers in China. And also in the UAE itself, we were able to lead the process to develop the sustainability plan for Masdar City, which has adopted the One Planet principles as well. So this is DNA, if you like, for sustainable communities.
Masdar has gotten a lot of publicity here in the UAE and elsewhere because of its plans. How exactly is your company involved with that?
Well, we led the original process to develop the so-called Sustainability Action Plan using the One Principles for the whole development. And in part, the Masdar project grew out of concepts that BioRegional had developed with architects like Foster & Partners, who are the master planners on Masdar City, for a zero carbon, zero waste city back in 2004.
Do you think that in the Middle East or countries like this one, the UAE, where energy is so cheap that they'll be able to continue their enthusiasm for the Masdar type of sustainable energy, zero carbon production type of project?
Well, I think the UAE is very interesting. You know, it has, of course, some of the largest carbon and ecological footprints of any country in the world. But on the other hand, it's also recognized that we need to create a sustainable future. And so the commitment to renewable energy that we now see coming out of countries like the UAE is incredibly encouraging. And one of the big advantages, of course, you've got here is a great solar resource, for example, lots of solar energy. So fantastic plans for things like concentrated solar power plants. So just as now UAE is an exporter of fossil fuels energy, you know, I think the feeling is in 20, 30, 40 years' time, it can be a major source of renewable energy exports as well. So, you know, building on its energy economy, just shifting from fossil fuels into renewables. So I think there's great opportunity, and using the income from fossil fuels now to invest in a more sustainable future. So I think it's fantastic.